everyone in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Monday, the 23rd of June. Is the 23rd of June or was it the 21st, which is the longest day of the year? So officially past the longest day of the year already. And yeah, we're obviously going to some of like what really happened over the weekend, which isn't really that important anyway, to be fair, because the charts were kind of looking like that anyway. I mean, us in the Discord, we've been talking about it for the last however many weeks that it looks a little bit uh, local toppy around this area. But yeah, long to short ratio, not really anything too much to note here apart from there's slightly more longs in the market. Obviously, uh, as we dump, people are probably going to start longing the dip. So the dip might dip even more. We all know how it goes. Nothing really too much to say apart from it is tapering off in the last for 8 to 12 hours. But yeah, nothing really too mental at all to say on the long to short ratio front. In terms of the order book, we've got an interesting little node coming in at just around 102.7, which is actually an area of interest for me, which we'll go into on the chart in a second. And there is a couple, 320 Bitcoin at 102.4, and another 200 at 102.5. So definitely a little bit of an interesting one over there. And yeah, potentially like a little volume node coming in around 99.3 lower. So yeah, just keep definitely this area in mind as we come up into it. And yeah, we'll look at the liquidations as well, where we have quite a lot at 104k up to like 104.5. So yes, that is quite interesting. There's a lot of liquidations up there. So if we get like a wick and then a close below sort of like 104k, potentially we could just be going for another round of dumps, but it remains to be seen um, as of just yet. We obviously have made a lower low, and yeah, the price action really, to be honest, since for the last week or so, couple of weeks, has been pretty bearish. So yeah, we're all short though, so well we should all be pretty short from either here or maybe even here if you didn't catch it anywhere up here. But yeah, a little bit higher. We do have quite a lot of liquidations at 109.3 still as well, but yeah, I'm looking slightly further down, to be honest. If we just get maybe a 3 month chart up now. I'm not sure if this is the best one to see it on, but yeah, we have taken that major stuff to the downside at around 100k. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's just get into the charts then, shall we? Remember to change my screen so I don't have to mess up my recording. And we'll get the index up as well. But yeah, if you're looking at anything in particular, especially some alts to potentially scalp, slap them in the chat because some of them definitely are on like high time frame support or at their lows at the moment. So it could be looking quite interesting. Just potentially have a little like swing or a little scalp at it. So yes, Bitcoin. Excuse me. I just need some water. That's good stuff. So let's go to 4 hour and we'll just say obviously in the last week we talked about this break of structure here. We talked about this high. We all got short from here. And since then, we've obviously done a bearish retest of this, which I've been talking about extensively. Actually, this is the all-time high weekly swing, and getting a close below. Oh, that's not the all-time high weekly swing. That is the all-time high weekly swing. So we actually got a weekly close below the all-time high weekly swing as of right now. So pretty much confirmation that I'm kind of looking more towards the downside between 94, 93 now, which was always kind of the case in the back of our minds. But yeah, we've done the move. We have bull div, so there's potential that we could come and see like tests sort of like 103, 104. But yeah, potentially every single level to retest higher is just a level to potentially short for lower as of right now. It's interesting that also the all-time high weekly swing also comes in around June, and yeah, there's also high liquidations at this area as well. From looking at the liquidation chart that we just looked at, so quite a lot of confluence areas that potentially between here and here might make for a good short. Um, but yeah, conversely, um, we might just see a little bounce, maybe like a something like that, and then yeah, maybe lower into December first off. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So yeah, I did take some profit on my short when I saw us do this massive, crazy candle. Again from 109k. So yeah, I might be potentially looking to hedge something long if the opportunity arises, but there are more longs in the market, and we have broken down in structure. So just keep that in mind. And obviously, shorts are going to be more worthwhile at the moment. Doesn't mean you can't go to the hourly and we get like a retest here. You could scalp something, up to here, but it depends what we do first. If we go straight up to here, then maybe not, maybe not. But we'll see. Just play the levels. And why is the weekly open? See, the index chart loves to put the weekly open at the wrong place. It must be somewhere down here. Oh, it's right there. Okay, interesting. Interesting. But yeah, anyway, the plan remains the same. We have bull dived. We also have got the change of direction on the retail stablecoin demand, which is obviously interesting, and the wick into in the band right here. We got the bull div, we got the change. Yeah, we got the div. We got the wick into the band. Doesn't mean we're going to reverse. Just means that we're going to have a short-term bounce, maybe up into sort of the liquidation zone here, and then yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Anyone see any different? Anything else? We've obviously been pretty bearish since really since we did here and that. We were just all on side in the shorts. So all good in the hood. In terms of the weekly, as I said, we have broken down now. We got the close below. So yeah, we're just kind of just looking at the short retests as of right now, and yeah, especially with there's more longs in the market at the moment, it's looking that way. It doesn't really have anything to do with what happened over the weekend with the bombing, because we were already, I mean, the charts were already saying it, and we were already short from here. We also got some, some bearish structure here, and we just started like losing it. So a lot of coins were actually, especially alts, were already losing their levels on Friday before we even got the news or anything. So yeah, I'm not really going to talk too much about the escalating conflict, but I'm not really that worried about it as of right now. Um, yeah, I just don't really see it as being a massive thing for me. So yeah, in terms of the daily as well, it also says the same story. We've also got the areas 105, 104k potentially looking interesting. We have got a wick into the band and a W reversal as of right now. The retail stablecoin demand is getting quite low on the daily. It can come down a bit more. So potentially, if we do something like that and then one more, then we could talk about maybe that being it. But I do think all this stuff might get tagged. It just makes sense. I mean, we've been talking about it for a while, and yeah, I won't really talk much more on that as of right now. So ETH, yeah, again, has done the breakdown. Even kind of before we got the news, it was kind of looking. It was actually holding on for dear life on the daily, but yeah, we also got the breakdown, and then we actually did a higher high to be fair and held. So it was looking a little bit like confusing, but if you looked at the retail stablecoin demand here, this thing that was it Crypto Poly or Crypto Pattern? I can't remember. You guys have got no. It was Thumpkate. It was Thumpy. Me and Thumpy were doing some extensive testing on this last week, and it seems to be when you get a divergence on the retail stablecoin demand, especially on the daily, it is very accurate at calling short slash long term tops and bottoms. And yeah, you can just see it exemplified perfectly on this. Even when you get a change in direction, it can signal a potential area of consolidation or reversal. So that's definitely something that we're going to be looking at a lot more now. Um, but yeah, super interesting. We actually have done quite a steep dump since then on the retail Stochastic coin demand, but this can go a decent amount lower. But yeah, we obviously have hit support. If we come back up here, you're looking to short it. Very, very simple. And the 4 hour band will probably come in similar to here. Yeah, I mean, just this area right now, you're just looking to potentially short this. Likewise, you could potentially long daily weekly open just for a bounce trade. But yeah, the here and here, you're looking to potentially short again. But yeah, let's actually just have a look at the 4 hour again real quick. We did get the change of direction as well on the 4 hour down here, right there, and we got the green dot on the oscillator, the wick into the band as well with the W reversal, currently above the March level and the daily weekly open. So potentially this is signaling a tiny bit of relief, but again, the US stocks you kind of want to wait for the stock market to open because it might just completely just fall through. But anyway, from a charting perspective, something like that maybe, or even up to here and then yeah, maybe like another low, another round of dumpiness. But yeah, the 4 hour is less reliable on the retail stablecoin demand. It's very, very reliable on the daily. Pardon me. So yeah, similar thing on Sol, where I'm not really sure when all this news and stuff happened, but right here was really the bearish retest, and that was for me Friday at 5 p.m. So I'm pretty sure that was before it all happened. Um, so what I'm trying to say is the news didn't really affect the charts at all. The charts were already kind of showing signs of weakness all the way, back here. Super bearish retest on daily on Sol as well. Um, and yeah, again, potentially 4 hour low, 4 hour here, looking to potentially reshort that. And yeah, the daily comes in a little bit higher, but I don't think we're going to see here before we see maybe a little bit lower. But it remains to be seen. Like we kind of just have to see how kind of what happens with the stock market and potential future escalations and stuff like that. I'm not really that worried about it, but you know, it's best to just be a little bit cautious, especially right now before everything's like opened up and the whole jazz. But potentially some altcoins that were doing quite well, for example, Hype. Um, I know there's quite a few things on this chart. Let's just get rid of a couple. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of. We'll get rid of that for now. So yeah, Hype came all the way down to the lows. This is also, I'm pretty sure, is a daily swing from the high. Yeah, from the first high. So this is obviously a potential area of interest. We've also got the Fibonacci Niente pocket. So we've had quite a nice bounce from here as of right now. We're getting a lot of stuff on the oscillator. We're getting a lot of stuff on the retail stablecoin demand, getting very low on the 4 hour. We're also in the stupid pocket. So if anyone caught any of that, then G to the G's. Nice and well done. That's actually had a really nice bounce as of right now. So definitely one of the most strong looking coins out there. But yeah, still potentially, it's actually not looking too bad, is it? But yeah, it's not looking that bad at all. The daily's literally held to a T. It literally touched the A86 and the June level. I've had a really nice bounce since. So yeah, um, looking pretty good. It's obviously an area where you could continue to accumulate some in between here and here. Although you kind of missed the first touch as of right now. So yeah, if you have caught any of that, then obviously take some profit around here, around this swing and the 618. Just out of interest, did anyone buy any? Anyone buy any fart coin? I know it went a little bit lower. Fart coin's actually looking a little bit more bearish because we have made a new low on the daily as of right now. So yeah, we've got obviously a lot of levels slightly lower to go and test, and I just don't really altogether like this price action very much. It's obviously we could get like a short-term bounce here, even to here, but yeah, we are potentially looking at lower on this. To be fair, so maybe the accumulation zone that I was talking about, 90 to $1, maybe we might have to revise that a little bit. However, it is looking like we all are bull divvying on the oscillator here, as we have made a higher high and we made a lower low on the price. So potentially interesting for a bounce, but yeah, you want to see something a little bit more um, clear cut on the 4 hour or maybe even the hour first. We have just done a bearish retest of that. Yeah, you kind of want to see that, and then maybe a long here, and you can log it into June as quite an easy trade if that were to happen. But yeah, all in all, like a few alts have really come down and hit their lows. Like I think we were talking about Doge. Yeah, I've got my brushes literally in here, so that happened quite quick. Oh, what? No, for that. And yeah, we are in mega support here, so potentially if you get something on the 4 hour, you could long this, but just be a bit cautious. Don't do it yet. We haven't got any sort of break. We're still in a downtrend and we're still waiting for stocks to open. So I'm just saying, potentially, if we do get a bounce, you could maybe long or even like short and then just get two positions on at the same time. But yeah, I'll be looking to short like this level if we do get back up into it, which is my potentially. I'm looking to just hedge some sort of long at some point. Even like Sui came down really low. I mean, I know I've got a lot of lines on this chart, but I had this Stuber on the daily drawn on from 8 for a long time, and these are also, these are swings from all the way back here in November, October 2024. So the Q2, the 786, those swings all got hit at the same time. This is quite a big dump to be fair, and we've also come down pretty far to fill the fair value gap right here on this daily candle. So that's why I'm potentially starting to look to the other side, but yeah, I'm not sure yet, and the long to short ratio is still potentially long, and Bitcoin hasn't really hit my targets as of right now. So yeah, it's more of just potentially looking for like a scalp, and then if it turns into a larger position, it turns into a larger position. But yeah, we're still heavily in a downtrend. It's just we are at big support. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at potentially, and yeah, it's one of the ones where we kind of just have to wait to see what happens. And yeah, if you see anything, the US pre-market's holding pretty well. It is holding well. Fast Tuber at 5.2, definitely massively possible that we could go and see quite a lot lower. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm still in my long because I was accumulating between 90 cent and $1, so I might look to de-risk that or get out of that if we get like a little bounce here. I'm on 3x cross, so like it's pretty chill. And yeah, it's just like it's one of those things where we kind of just need to wait, be a little bit patient. Definitely like Monday trading is always a little bit like because you get the Sunday movement into Monday. It's always a little bit scammy. The best days to trade are always Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Literally always, every single week without fail. For me personally, but it should be pretty similar to all of you. And yeah, if we do get like a bullish retest of the lows and the risk is fine, obviously you can hedge along. You should all be short anyway. So yeah, taper off a little bit that short, keep the rest of the position on for 94k, and we'll just see how it goes. Like A lot of alts are really, 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 really low. Actually, to be honest, I haven't checked ETH Bitcoin. Oh yeah, that did the dump. Of course, that did the dump. But we are on a potential area of support here. But yeah, to potentially this is just an area to bearishly retest. Now, to be honest, we've already done it, so um, maybe even just like that now, the bottom of this swing. But yeah, it's all a little bit up in the air right now, and Hype's doing really well, of course. This is always one coin that, I mean, I was talking to you guys about last week. Why are we paying attention to so many of these other altcoins? Like, of course, Sol and ETH have their plays. Popcat for scalping, Doge for long-term accumulation. Potentially Sui is quite a hot coin. But like Hype and Fartcoin, especially Hype with the recent shenanigans, they're just so strong that I'm just looking to potentially just put most of my liquidity into stuff like this. It's like if you're sitting in Fartcoin and Hype like the last like couple months, 2, 3, 4 months, you're absolutely just chilling, aren't you? Like even if you started to accumulate around here, you could potentially get out some of your position at like basically no cost to you, and then accumulate lower. But yeah, don't get me wrong, there are other opportunities on alts, especially as a lot of them are getting really, really brutalized. Like this is just this is just sad, isn't it? Look at that. Damn. I think potentially not looking that bad, but also not looking that good. This is actually mega support here. So like I said, there are potential opportunities for bouncers, but I wouldn't be like stocking up my spot bags for alt season. It's more just like you can go at 3x, get a little long, taper off on the way up. Bish bash bosh. Yeah. So potentially August is looking like an area that you could short on. So like 12.7 to 13 ish might be an area of interest to short. And likewise, if we do a retest of September, maybe, or even let's actually look at this on the hourly. So 11.2, 11.4. Might see some resistance here. It's all about if we put a higher low in now, because we're obviously in a very steady downtrend. We've still got the American market, stock market to open. We've also got kind of like a little bit of the fear war sentiment creeping in. Not that I really care about that. I'm just saying that that's a fact. We should factor that in slightly to potentially trying to like catch a knife on some longs. So that's why you want to just wait, especially if you're trying to long. Like if you got any down here, like cool, you're chilling, especially on the lower time frames. Um, but yeah, it's just a little bit of a spot of bother at the moment. Like what's things like AVAX doing? Yeah, looking a bit ripper-rude. That does not look good. That looks like if it comes back up to here, you just short the shit out of it. Let me take these brushes off. Yeah. US pre-market, Fartcoin Stu, but yes, morning troops, morning brother. Nice work. Thank you for joining in. I'll see you soon, Yeti. Some alts have lost all-time support at the bottom. Yeah. So, for example, I literally just looked at DOT, which to be fair is a last cycle coin. But a lot of them aren't really doing that well. Actually, what are they doing? Because this is actually something that I've been keeping an eye on. Let's get a fresh chart on this. that Stuba definitely didn't hold up. Yeah, it obviously made a new low from here. It's just like we're just looking like we want to come down and test lower now. Maybe here. March is completely untested. December we obviously like have tested as support, but anything that we come up now, here is potentially an area to short. There's obviously a Stuba from back here on the daily. You can just kind of eyeball that if you pulled one from the high to this low. Yeah. Whoops. We'll just leave that on. Giga support though at the moment. I was looking at this area. This is an area of interest, to be fair. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we get a retest and a hold of the low. Maybe we come up here and do a bearish retest of June and then do another low. Like, those are really the two trades right now. You pump up and then you short, or you come back down to the lows and hold and you scalp along, and then you wait for your next short. Alright, we're just a little bit. It's a little bit. It's a little bit in no man's land at the moment. So yeah, like even on ADA, you can see that we've been doing super bearish retests all the way since from here. We did another one here, and like way before, like way before the war news came out, this was already like looking really bad, and we've now made a new low. So yeah, it's just stuff like this. Is you just if it comes up to here, just you can short, and then if it comes down to here, if you like it, you can potentially long a little bit. But then again, why would we long ADA when we could just buy some more hype? That's the way I see it, to be fair. Don't get me wrong, this area is definitely going to be an area that you potentially could catch a long on and it would be profitable, but like, why would I do that? Let's have a look at the 4 hour quickly. Yeah, coming in around here. This is definitely the area that you need to get above to change the trend. So if we do come back up to here, it's definitely just a free short. Like, let's have a look at some retail stablecoin demands on the daily and see what's low or not. Yeah, EG dot IR probably a lot that have shit fundamentals will bleed to zero, or yeah, or near enough to zero. Just because they're also like dot did great last cycle. It went to what, like $1 to 50 or some shit. I think I bought it at like $3 or $4 last cycle and sold it some. Well, I didn't sell all of it. I sold some at like $40, $50. So and then a bag held the rest. Lol. But yeah, it's that's why I'm just saying like stuff like Fartcoin and hype. I'm way more like the charts say it, and everything else just says it as well. So yeah, potentially looking to accumulate more of those if we do see lower. Now, I think we were talking about 2.4 on PopCat quite a while ago actually. Um, yeah, we were talking about yeah. So we were talking about 2.4. Let me just take some of these. Should we leave that on? Let's take these off first. So we were talking about this all the way back here, which I know I always talk about this short that I got wicked out of here, which would have been actually unbelievable. By the way, 43% on 3x, nice, with a lot of margin. But anyway, so yeah, I think all the way back here we were talking about 2.4 on PopCat, and we have got there now. So potentially, let me just clean this up a little bit. Again, potentially we're in support where you're looking to maybe long with some confirmation. This swing over here. I mean, we could even do like a really local Stuba, which we're probably in from this low. we actually have dropped that as of now. I might have to do the macro. Yeah, the macro 786 coming in around 2-3, just at the bottom of the swing. Let's have a look at AI charting tools. Yeah, we've obviously got a support zone. That comes in around the Q2 and the A86. So, yeah. I mean, if we get, you want to see confirmation. This oscillator is bull diving like crazy. So, if this starts to curve over and we make a defined bottom, we do something like that, you could potentially long it up to here, and then we might do one more, and then it bull divs or something, and then that's the bottom. But who really knows? We're kind of just looking a bit too far into the future on that one. Support. We are at the support. Yeah, it's above its weekly open, at least. Just about. But yeah, Polka is something more that you should trade on the short and on the shorter time frames with tight risk, and then it can develop into a longer term position, which like runs really far. That's definitely getting up to resistance there. So yeah, anyone interested in anything? Oh, let me just reply to Max. I mean, he's not even in the he's not even in the stream, but he'll probably see it. There's a stupid like 10% low on PopCap potential magnet. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, we're in the support on a lot of things. So we just have to we're in the swing, we're in the support, and if we do start seeing some confirmation on the lower time frames, then yeah, I'll be happy to long it up higher, so I can so I can re-short it. We'll be re-shorting it. But yeah, like something like this, Pepe, again, here to here. Holding the weekly. That's coming down a little bit lower. We're quite low on the retail stablecoin demand. Oscillators just flattened out. Yeah, so a lot of these alts are looking super juicy actually. Actually super juicy. So let's just do some comparison on something like the retail stablecoin demand. It's the last time we saw something this low was around here. To be fair, we're literally nearly on it. We went to 31.34ish, and we're about 31 point. We're about at the same level basically, and that was there. So potentially a bullish stuber like this fill the fair value gap, and you're looking at, you know, a continuation of the macro trend, just from a charting perspective. So like put all your war fear to the side for a second and just look at it like that. Okay, potentially looks quite good. And there are other coins that look. That's why I'm really happy with how hype is reacting right now. Yeah, we do have some bearish div on the daily. Yeah, we are making low lows on the oscillator, but even if we get down to 26, 27, like I was talking about ages ago in the pro signals post, it's just a giga long area, isn't it? It just is. And I've got my alerts all set. I've got bids all set. They're all waiting. So if we go further down, I'm more happy. I might have to take a little bit more care with this Farcoin position now that we have made a lower low, but nothing to panic about for me just yet, as I'm not going to sell my trade at a loss here. It's only, I mean, my entry price is about 9.594, so I could probably get out of it as in a profit very easily on 3x cross. It's just the beauty of trading really low leverage is that you're never just like sweating about anything unless you accidentally hold a position, which I have done. Can you look at grass? Yes, for sure, brother. I don't really like this coin. Oh, okay. So is the Binance chart fine? It probably should be fine. Maybe we'll get a spot chart up. We'll just delete some of these lines, all of them actually. So yeah, we're at the lows, bro. We're at the lows. What do you do at the lows? You buy them. We have made a new low though. So if we don't regain this on the daily, I wouldn't buy this. But it's looking like it's trying to. Um, yeah, November. This swing potentially important. I mean, something like that. I mean, you're in the lows, bro. You're deep in the lows on this one. Let's have a look at this 4-hour chart. Yeah, had a nice little pop from the lows. It's just obviously here and here is going to be resistance. Potentially if you get one more wick and you close above November, it might be looking pretty decent to scalp along, especially if you can get your risk right. So something like, let's accidentally put a brush on. What's the risk on this? 2-ish%. Yeah, not the worst, not the best. Kind of neither here nor there. Not bad though. I mean, you could potentially try and long something in here with a stop here, but only if the 4-hour were to close bullishly. It's just a little bit contentious, to say the least. We are at the lows though. I'm not. Let me take that off quickly. Yeah, we're looking super cooked on the oscillator. I do think it is probably possible that we will get a bounce even to up here, or just maybe up to this swing, 144. But on the lower time frames, we just need to see some more confirmation. To be fair, this is quite nice on the hourly. We made a new high from here. That could actually hold. I'd say you could maybe long that with a really tight stop. I mean, how 2% 4x maybe, possibly. You want to see that hold or something, or a retest of the lows hold. That's definitely starting to arc up as well, which is nice. Yeah, not bad. That could be a juicy little hold on the 618. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it. Anyone else looking at anything in particular, or we all just kind of just chilling and waiting? We're kind of just chilling and waiting for America to open later. I would like what Prabhu's just done. I would like to look at some of the alts you guys are looking at, because potentially they're like a lot of alts. Yeah, they're making new. Some are making new lows. Some are at support. Some are looking really good, like hype. So anything that you potentially look might be nice, let's look at them, because then we could potentially get more positions. Because there's a lot of stuff happening at the moment, and you kind of just need to put everything to one side and be like, okay, what are we doing on the price? Is the risk fine? Can I take a little educated bet here? And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Fine. This was another coin that would have been such a good short, and this is also at the lows. So if we go to the daily on this, which I don't really love this coin that much, but I kind of like find it quite funny, is yeah, we've actually made a new daily low. But if we were to regain that, let's go to a half time frame. Like, we're potentially just in an area to long, even if it's just up to here. Even if it's just up to here, and then you catch your next short. I just think I'm not really that worried about the bombs and stuff. I don't know. Should I be worried? I don't think so. How many times has America bombed the Middle East and it hasn't really ended in a war? Okay, let's take out Iraq, but you know, fucking Obama was the drone strike king, bro. So yeah, like again, Sui. Let's just get a new chart. This is actually something which is potentially looking really, really interesting. And we'll get rid of some of this stuff. Maybe all of this stuff actually. Yeah, let's get rid of all of that stuff because I don't really need it. We'll just make it super simple. And then I do want to mark this high or this low. I mean, this low is about the Q2, so we'll do this high from all the way back in October 24. So, you know, it doesn't look that bad, does it? There's obviously a high possibility that we could just, you know, come up to here, here, or here, and then do another one. Fine. But even so, we've done quite a big dump, and what would that be as a trade? You're looking at, you know, 15, 30. I'm not saying that we're going to do 30, 40%, but even as a macro bearish retest of June before we make a new low, that's 30%. So, you know, and then a new one. Why not? Even if it were to do that, or if it were to do this, and then go and test the highs. Something that maybe we should be keeping an eye on the lower time frames for sure. Thanks, man. No worries, bro. Nice to see you in here. But yeah, anyone else want to talk about anything else? Maybe like look at any specific trades. Like again, if Sui were to just chug a little bit higher up into this daily and into this resistance zone, you could also take a scalp short. First down to the weekly 5% and then down to the lows again 10%. That's also fine. Like there's a lot of different opportunity right now, especially after such a big dump. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and all the coins are looking quite different as well. But I would be a bit cautious of just longing the daily weekly open on something like this, because this is just bearishly. This is just underside retest on the hourly, hidden bear div on the. I mean, the stablecoin demand doesn't really matter that much on the 1 hour. To be fair, I'm more looking at that on the 4 hour as being a potential short-term bottom. Like that actually looks quite nice. Like we got the oversold, we got the wick into the band. We're on the 786. We're on mega support. Retail stablecoin demand's bottomed and coming back up. Like, you know, if we come down and hold the lows again, I'm happy to take a little swing at it. But yeah, let's just see how the market reacts later. It's a bit annoying because Viking streams at 10:30 for me, which I'm either out drinking or I'm just like, you know, sometimes I join in if I'm just chilling at home. But yeah, let's see even some of these markets are open. This Palladium's starting to go. Platinum's obviously been going. What's gold doing? Not really too much, to be fair. And again, like Nike is still good to accumulate between 50 and like 55. If it gaps down to 56, 55, you could nibble a bit more on that. But yeah, that's about all I've got to actually look at. I mean, we could potentially just go through a couple 1 hour charts on some alts because we all want to potentially look for some positions if available. I mean, let's have a look at Sol. Take this off. Let's actually look at the daily first. Meh. Just coming up to resistance, isn't it? Not really an area that you want to make a big play on, to be fair. I mean, something like, and then a close below September, and you could reshort this. Other than that, it's just like, what are you gonna do there? Not really too much. What else have we looked at? Maybe Injective, which is down at underneath $10. Yeah, that's just hit support. Massive support. So in the local price action, let's get a better chart. Let's get like something that I know that I don't have any charting on. Again, yeah, maybe we're holding the 886. Got the weekly open, got the May. We're kind of building up a little bit of support around here. Fill the fair value gap. This is the low now. I mean, potentially looking interesting. Yeah, we're dipping down in there. It's just a bit too early to tell. I mean, yeah. Maybe it looks good for a long though. At least just a little bounce. If we hold this, then yeah. I don't see why not. You just obviously want to be cautious with the open and the direction and the sentiment. But again, the risk is fine-ish on that. You could have a 2% stop from the daily weekly open. You could also ladder in your orders. So say you have your lighter orders down here, and then you have some heavier ones down at the bottom for potentially a wick. And then if it wicks and then goes like that, you're in a very low. You got a low entry price with your stop over here, and you can just take profit here and then just break even, and then you're just you've got like a risk-free trade. But yeah, it's just one of them ones, isn't it? Yeah, we're on resistance here. Again, we might actually even test the lows. So yeah. Let's wait and see. Anyway, I might stop my recording now. It's about 50 minutes, which is nice. Good. I want to keep them to 40 minutes, but yeah.